Hi everyone, it's Wes here, and today I want to talk about the cover letter. So, most of the times on this channel, I always talk about the CV. I always talk about how you should change your CV, how you should match it to this job. I always talk about the CV, but today I thought I'd also cover the cover letter. Yeah, cover the cover letter. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about it because most of the times when job vacancies come out, they say we should upload our CV or we should send in our CV as well as the cover letter. Yeah, so some call it cover letter, some call it application letter, some call it motivational letter. I mean, it has many names, but we're simply talking about the cover letter. So what I'll do in this video is I want to show you how you can be able to tailor your cover letter to a job that you're applying for. Now, if you remember 2 weeks ago, if not 3 weeks ago on this channel, I uploaded this video, whether I put it here or here. I was talking about how you can be able to tailor your CV to a job. So I'll use the same job that I applied for, and I'll show you guys my cover letter that I used when I was applying for this job. So everything that I'm showing you in this video is something that really happened or something that I really did. So it's not like I've just taken things off the internet and be like, oh, well, this is what you should do to your cover letter, or this is what you should do. No, these are things that I did. So I really thought I'll show you something that is really practical instead of just reading something and then giving it to you. So I'll just talk about the basics of a cover letter before I show you like the practical side of it. So as you already know, I don't know, was it in primary school or in secondary school where we learned about wherever we learned it. Yeah. So the thing is, we know that we always start with the address. After the address, we always start with we come with the word salutations and then the dates, and then we have the subject, and then we have the introduction, we have the main body, then we have the conclusion, and then we have like what conclusion or whatever signature or whatever we call it. So that layout still remains the same. So in this video, I'm not trying to talk about the layout itself to say maybe you should put your address on the left or you should put it on the right or down, or no, we're talking about the content itself that you should put in the actual letter. So the other basic things of what a letter is all about, those remain the same, but the actual content of how you can be able to tailor it to a job, that's what I want to talk about. So what I'll do in this video is I'll bring in the actual job vacancy that came out, and then I'll show you my actual cover letter that I used. And by the way, just for you to know, when I applied for this job, I was called for the interviews, and I was also a successful candidate after the interviews. And I worked at this place for close to a year. It was actually just a year that I worked there. It was really a nice place. I liked it there, but I had to move on. So I'll show you like what I used. So yeah, let me get on my phone as I've been doing lately. So what I'll first show you guys is the actual vacancy that came out. So you see it on the screen in the next minute or second. So as you can see, this is the job summary that came out in the paper or on the internet. So they were looking for a fleet management officer who would work within the administration department to support transport requirements for programs and ensure fleet vehicles are well maintained and drivers are driving safely in compliance with government regulations and policies laid down in the organization. So this is what they were looking for. So guys, I won't read everything, but I think you guys have an idea, or you can be able to pause for you guys to read. Yeah. So now let me just give you one trick, or not a trick, they say, or what I always do. One thing that I've noted about jobs when they come out, mostly the first 5 things that they write on the duties or responsibilities are really the most important things that you'll be doing when you get employed. That's what in my view, or that's what my experience has been, because that's what they like to cover, the first key things that you'll be doing when they employ you. So I mean, when you're trying to match your CV or your cover letter, make sure that you're matching with the first 5 or first 4 things that have been written on the duties or responsibilities. So now, if you're able to see on my screen, they're saying these are some of the duties that they wrote. They're saying they're looking for someone who oversees vehicle services and maintenance. They're looking for someone who will do renewal of insurance as well as licensing of all vehicles under the organization. And then they're also looking for someone who ensure tracking of vehicles and produce fuel consumption and fleet management reports. So they're looking for someone also who ensure transport scheduling and things like those. So if you go on, they wrote like more of what the guy or the person will have to do when they employ you. So these are the things that they wrote. Yeah. So now let me show you my actual cover letter that I used. Now, before I go there, let me also show you the other things that they said they wanted in terms of the qualifications, as well as skills and competencies. So they were looking for someone who has a degree in administration, accounting, logistics, purchasing, and supply. They're looking for someone who has 5 years experience of successful transport management experience, ideally including 2 or 3 years as a supervisor. So did I have all this? I think I had the degree, but I didn't have 5 years experience. I think I had maybe 3 years or 4 years to do with actual fleet and everything. So they're also looking for someone who is excellent in terms of communication. They're looking for someone who has ability to collaborate with others, looking for computer literacy and software skills. They're looking for someone who has an understanding of finance and accounting, and they're also looking for someone who understands vehicle systems, as you can read. So these are the things that they're looking for. Now, what did I do on my cover letter? So, or how did I match my cover letter to this? So let me show you guys what I did with my cover letter. So this is the cover letter. I'm sure you guys can see it. I'll try to zoom it in. I'm also trying to zoom it in. So this is, so you get to find out that the content of this letter is a little bit different than most of the letters that you have seen, because I was trying to tailor it to the job. It wasn't just a basic like, oh, I'm writing to express, or you know, like how we always copy whatever we took from someone's cover letter and then we put it in our CV or in our cover letter. Yeah. So you find out like this is a little bit different in terms of the layout or content. It's not like the basic or usual cover letters that you see. But anyway, let's go on and read what I wrote in this cover letter. And by the way, before I go on, a cover letter should only be 1 page. I don't think you should do 2 pages or 3 pages. 1 page is enough. All the other information that you want them to see will be on your CV. But a cover letter is just like, it should just be 1 page. So it shouldn't have a lot. So this is what I wrote on my cover letter. I was saying, having recently learned of the fleet management office opportunity with the organization, I was compelled to contact you right away with my interest. And guys, trust me, this is also true, because I saw the job application on Saturday and I applied on Monday morning. I dropped my letter, and the same Monday morning I sent them an email. So I did both. So I was really showing interest. Like, I mean, I was actually the first person to apply. I think so. Yeah. So in the hopes of being considered for this position, I have included a brief outline of my background and qualifications for your review. I believe that I could make a strong addition to your team and offer the following career highlights to support my candidacy. So, guys, you know, you guys don't see cover letters that have bullet points. Cover letters are always like paragraphs. 5 lines, 6 lines, 7 lines. But what I did in this one, because one thing that I've learned is whenever you write big paragraphs, I mean, people get bored to read. So I was trying to break it down. I mean, people can read like 2 lines, they can read 3 lines. So I was like, okay, let me break it down for them to easily read. So, so this is like the main body. So the first one was the introduction, and now this is the main body, which is coming in a bullet format. I mean, we've never learned that at school. I mean, maybe they did. Well, maybe I missed that class, but yeah, you get what I mean. Like, we always know that the main body comes like as a paragraph or something. So, but what I did was I had to change it to make it into a bullet format. So, the main body, I was saying, I have in-depth knowledge of fleet management services, as I have proven experience in overseeing a fleet comprised of project vehicles and motorcycles to ensure smooth running of the organization of vehicles. Now, do you see where I'm matching this with the first, I think, duty that they said in the vacancy? They were saying someone who has been overseeing, and I'm simply saying I have knowledge of fleet management and experience in overseeing. You get it? Yeah. So it's like I've took what they said in the first duties. Yeah, I've took the first point that they said in the duties. I've now put it also as a first bullet point in my cover letter. So I'm simply saying I am matching what you guys are looking for. Now, if you guys remember, I was telling you to say they are looking for, I mean, the first 4 or 5 points are the ones that they're looking for. Like, those are the key things that you'll be doing when you're employed. So if you look at this one, I've already covered the first point. Now, what did I say in the second point? I said I have advanced training in the field of supply chain and logistics management, which has enhanced my knowledge, my understanding of fleet management. Now, if you go to what they were looking for in terms of school, they were looking for someone who has a bachelor's degree and everything. And I'm saying I have advanced knowledge, more than what you guys are looking for. I have like a master's in this field. So you're able to see like I'm somehow saying I have a little more than what you guys are requesting for. The third point says I have exceptional abilities in scheduling transport requirements and distribution or dispatching or routing, which are essential for this role that I'm applying for. So if you remember, I think it must have been point number 4. Yes, point number 4 in the vacancy. They said they're looking for someone who will be doing transport scheduling, which is what I exactly did. I somehow took the same thing that they said in point number 4 and I put it in my point number 3 to say this is what I'll be doing, or I have the experience of doing this thing. So I mean, if you guys give me that type of job, I'll be able to do it. So the other thing that I also said was I have hands-on experience in managing fleet management, in leading projects on HIV and AIDS within the southern region. So this organization is based in the southern region. This organization has projects to do with HIV and AIDS. So you're able to see that I'm trying to match what they do at the moment. Oh, I mean, then what they were doing. They still do it anyway, but I mean, when I was applying. So what they do with what I have experience in. So I know this organization is dealing with HIV and AIDS, and I'm also telling them, you know what, I've also worked in a project that was dealing with HIV and AIDS. So it's simply me trying to match myself with a job a vacancy. So now you see that I've only taken 4, if not 3 things and put them in the main body. Now what I've done is I've taken what they wrote in the job vacancy, I've put them in my main body, but I've found a way of using my own words to say this is what I have and this is what you guys are looking for in a way. So after that, and then okay, now by this time, okay, so let me just say one thing. If you have a gap in your CV, you may want to write it in your cover letter because it makes it much easier for people to see. So I said by this time, because I'd gone to do my master's, I'd come back, so I wasn't working for like what, a year or so. So I had to address it in the cover letter. I said, okay, you may notice a gap in my employment while reviewing my resume. During this period, I elected to take a leave from the workforce in order to go back to school. The time that I was able to commit to my education has been invaluable to my professional growth, and I'm eager to re-enter the professional sphere. Hey, I'm talking a little bit more English right there. Jokes, guys. And apply my newfound qualifications and knowledge to the job. So I'm simply saying, if you guys get to see my CV and then you see a gap, you know that I was doing school. Because it becomes tricky if you have a job gap, but then you haven't addressed it. I mean, they're like, why should we even employ this person? We don't even know. They're not even transparent enough for them to tell us what they've been up to. You see, so if you have a job gap, I mean, if you can, I know there are other job gaps which are a little bit difficult to maybe explain, but if you have a job gap that you can be able to explain, please explain it in the cover letter. Yeah. So finally, now this is a conclusion. I'm saying, moreover, I possess excellent communication skills. Now you see what I'm doing. I'm now taking what they wrote in terms of what they were looking for. They were looking for someone who has excellent communication skills, outstanding organizational skills, interpersonal skills. Now, this is what I'm saying. I have communication skills, leadership. Did you see they said someone who has supervision? I'm saying I have leadership. Are you guys getting what I'm doing? You should be getting it. Yeah, jokes. But yeah, if you see, I'm saying leadership. They were looking for someone who has ever supervised. So I'm simply saying I have leadership, or I can be able to supervise, but I've just used my words. And decision making. So for greater presentability, for a greater presentation of career contributions and achievements, please see my enclosed resume. And yeah, and then if you see my resume, which is what I showed you in the previous video, the one that I've been making reference to in this video, is the one that was also matching this job. So as you can see, this is how you can be able to match your cover letter to a job that you're applying for. I hope this makes sense. And I hope you have learned a thing or two from this video. Yeah, I hope so. So that's it, guys. As you can see, that's how you can be able to match your cover letter to a job that you're applying for. Now, as I said, there is no one size that fits all, but this is just somehow to give you an idea of how you can be able to work around the words that you use in the cover letter and the ones that are in the vacancy. I hope you find these things helpful. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, You might want to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.